Thank you. I appreciate y'all having me here today. And let me ask you a couple of questions real quick. As landowners, how many of you got pine trees on your land? Almost everybody. How many of you sold pine straw off your land? Wow. Got one back here. A couple back here. Great. Well, what we got is, go ahead and hit the first slide. A big business that we're not getting our share of. In Georgia last year, pine straw was an $81 million business. How many of you need some more money? Almost everybody. Me too. So, what we're going to do is try to get Alabama involved in the pine straw business. We're missing our boat. And I feel that the main reason we're not getting our share is because we're not organized. So now, welcome to the Alabama Pine Straw Association. Pine straw sales represent an opportunity for landowners to capitalize on a renewable resource, a natural renewable resource their pine trees are already generating. With proper management and preparation, productive pine straw stand and a productive longleaf stand can generate up to $200 per acre per year. Wild mollies can generate up to $100 per acre. Let me tell you what got me interested in this. I went down to the Dixon Center, that nice facility we got down in Andalusia, to the Longleaf Academy. Great course. Spent almost a week down there learning about longleaf. And there were people there from South Carolina and North Carolina, the state forestry commissions. And as we were going through the course and talking about the longleaf, they kept asking questions about producing more straw. So I called them out on the back porch one afternoon. I said, what is the deal about the pine straw with y'all? And they said, well, our state longleaf forests have got where they're generating so much income from pine straw, we can't afford to cut the trees. And I said, really? And they said, yep. We just bid out our annual pine straw lease. We got $300 an acre. Wow. Now, I'm not going to stand here and promise you $300 an acre for your pine straw. But if you manage your pine stands properly, and we can develop the markets in Alabama, which some of them are already there. I just found out a couple of weeks ago that Auburn University buys all their pine straw from Florida. But that is wrong on so many levels I don't even get into. But together, I believe we can develop our pine straw market in Alabama. We now have a website, www.alabamapinestrawassociation.com. Please visit it. And we're gonna do some research. We don't know a whole lot about the pine straw market in Alabama, except it's just pretty much non-existent for Alabama producers. But right now, Ms. Janice Dyer at Auburn University is conducting a survey to determine the Alabama market, and that's her email address. Please contact her if you'd like to participate. Let's see if we can get some data. To make this work, we're going to have a triangle, pyramid, whatever you want to call it. And it's going to take participants from all three aspects of it. We've got to have the landowners, you, the people who are growing the pine trees, producing the pine straw. But we've got to have the contractors to rake the straw, to harvest it. And then we've got to have the markets to sell it. There are markets here. Other states have already captured a lot of it. But I've talked to several of the big box stores, and they are very interested in the public relations aspect of selling locally produced straw. So I think we can get our foot in the door with them. And then they're just a lot of little mom and pop straw operations out there. Now, since I'm talking to a landowner organization, what are the benefits to the landowner? We're looking at an early cash flow. I know Beth was here earlier today talking about thinning your trees as early as possible, but even then she wasn't talking about down into the 7 and 8 year old range. You've got an early cash flow from these trees. In the process, you're reducing your fire hazard, you're removing a fuel source. It can look great, particularly if this is around a cabin or your house. You're removing that fuel source for wildfire, and it can make it really park-like aesthetics. And if you're an intensive manager of your pine stands, this can generate cash flow that can be reinvested into the management, such as possibly going out and doing some fertilization on your stand, those kind of things. Vegetation management, killing off that understory that's slowing your pine trees' growth down and making it hard to get your pine straw. It does take some work on your part, some investment, to get your pine stands in a condition that they can easily be harvested. Another thing is it's operable on small acres. A 3-man crew, pine straw crew, box baler, can usually generate around 1,500 bales per week. And if you're generating 100 bales per acre, which is fairly common, average, you don't need but 15 acres in the pine straw business. Okay. Now, looking at and I'm looking at longleaf right now. Longleaf is the premier straw. That's the one everybody wants. There is a market for a lot of it, not nearly as lucrative. But I just took it. I had Dr. David LeBand over at Auburn University run a financial analysis on it. Even looking at the expense side, I tried to go high end on the expenses and low end on the revenue. Even if you put $300 an acre into establishing that longleaf stand, do it right, control that understory, control that competition, plant it in straight rows, enough distance in the rows to get your machines in there later, burn it at age 3, go into a herbaceous spray underneath at age 9, and et cetera, fertilizing. And I kept the straw revenue at only $50 an acre to start out with every other year. Thinnings, harvest at age 40, you know. I feel like this is a very conservative analysis. You're looking at a 5% real rate of return, even on the conservative side. I wish I could get that on my bank account right now. This is on land that you already own. Okay. Now, what do I have to do to get my pine straw ready for sale? You see how clean that is. Somebody asked me today, said, "How clean have I got to get it?" I said, as clean as you would want it if you were going to go out there and rake that straw. But you want a clean understory. And this may require some understory controls and spraying the year before, so you may have an investment there. But this will also remove competitive vegetation and invasive plants, which will improve the health of the stand. One thing that we're going to pursue, I met with the Alabama Invasive Plant Council this week. They're very concerned about invasive plants coming in with the pine straw from Florida. Air fern, coven grass, things like that. And what we'd like to do is be able to certify our Alabama produced straw that it's free of invasives. So we're going to pursue that, and the Alabama Invasive Plant Council is going to work with us on that. Okay. You got to remove debris and limbs, cones, all of that. But to get into the baling business takes very little investment. Your basic box baler should cost you less than $200 to build. You got a couple of guys with pitchforks and a pickup truck, 4-wheel drive pickup truck, and a trailer. You could be in the pine straw business. A lot of landowners might want to pursue doing it themselves. Okay. But I would probably want to work with the contractors. It's very labor intensive. You do have to deal with transportation. May have to have some herbicide application. And we would like to have a certification system for our contractors too, so that you as a landowner, when you sell your straw, you know that you're dealing with reputable people and you're going to get paid for every bale that's removed. Okay. Well, I mentioned networking with markets. We want to develop straw grown by local landowners, harvested by local contractors, with certified invasive-free straw. I think that's going to be our marketing scheme. I think it's going to take all of us working together to make it happen in Alabama. Okay. So, I'm keeping this short. I ran through it almost as fast as Beth ran through hers today. But we have the website, alabamapinestraw.com. Please visit it. It's got contact information. We would like to hear from you, and we're just getting started. So we're wide open to any thoughts you have, any questions you have. So, have I got any questions right now?